personal self-discovery throughout this thing and just bringing this play to life, even on a level which I had read it before. Performing it, something else opened up and opened out. And this was last year, so when I had the opportunity to come here and do it on Broadway, of course I said yes. Who wouldn't? And I find for me that process is kind of starting all over again as we hear the words again in different voices and different ideas kind of pop up. And I don't know, the horizon of discovery is still very much the same.
I almost sometimes wish I had been a part of the play before its kind of success, just to sort of, because it would have been really lovely to sort of discover it along with everybody. Now we're rediscovering it in some ways, and it's exciting because there's such it does feel new in a way, but there's also there's a good confidence around it too, because it has been performed other places, and we can really now say, you can really kind of shape it in a way and I don't know, find it fresh.
I mean, I think the key point to make is that it's not going to be the same production. There are differences within it that will set it apart from the London production, that will set it apart from the Lincoln Center run as well, and even I think there was one before that in Chicago as well. So it is a completely different production, but it will keep all of the fundamental elements that made Disgraced so successful, and will hopefully be quite a gut-wrenching experience for the audience as well, I hope. Yeah.
You see me over there looking very...
You can mimic that exact.
I could, right? I don't know. I feel like they airbrushed that to death.
It's so interesting. Doing the play a second time through, it resonates even more, not because the play has changed, but because the world around the play has sort of changed. There's more happening in the Middle East. There's stuff happening here at home as far as race and identity. There's just so much more to talk about. So we spend a lot of time in our rehearsal room sort of going over these things and letting those emotions, those conversations steep in us as we bring these characters to life.
When I was in grad school and I thought of myself as a stage actor in New York, which is what I thought before California took me away from that for a bit, the most exciting thing for me was being in a rehearsal room with a playwright in the room, a living playwright, working on a new play that felt somehow relevant to the cultural conversation, and that's certainly what this is.
It's been incredible. I mean, I've done the show over in London before, and we had a great run there. And so to be able to bring it over here is it's going to be something special, I think. Already there's a stark difference in doing a show that's set in New York in London to doing a show set in New York, and already in rehearsals there's a great energy and vibe to what we're doing. So I think it's going to be something very special.
It's been fantastic. You know, there is nothing like coming to do a play on Broadway in a play that is very much about New York and New Yorkers, and get to be with people who are intimately aware of the cultural touchstones of New York and are New Yorkers obviously for a very long period of their lives. So I don't know, it feels like you get to come into this home that is Broadway and get to be kind of walked around slightly by people who know every nook and cranny on some level. So it's been fascinating. I mean, I think that's why I kind of think in some way I'm just, as I get on stage and we do stuff, I'm just kind of listening, just kind of approaching everything with a real curiosity and just listening to what's being said to me right now.
You find yourself almost being like a member of the audience, where you start to talk and pick it apart and all that, and it's like, well, really, let's just do the play, you know. It's fun. It's that kind of thought-provoking piece that really gets everybody talking and relating their own experiences. Everybody, you know, the audience will find themselves bringing their own personal bias and prejudice to the play, and hopefully it'll kind of make you look at what that is.
I'm finding the rehearsal room to just be really, there's like a really organic dialogue going on that feels like the play itself is like a living organism. It's not like this play won the Pulitzer Prize, therefore we cannot discuss it. It is sacrosanct. Like Ayad's really, I use the metaphor of, you know, the suit that people wore for another production like needs to be tailored to us, just a tedious bit. So there's changes going on, and there's a healthy dialogue about what's working. Obviously, a lot is working, and
You know, the great thing about working with Kimberly and Ayad is that we have this beautiful template in the play Disgraced to sort of build from. It is really like a beautiful piece of music. I mean, you can come back to it and play it in many, many different ways, but ultimately you still are connected to the heart of whatever this piece of art is. And I would say Disgraced is very much a reflection of that metaphor. It's this beautiful piece of art that we get to keep coming back to and interpret in many different ways.
The work that we're doing is we're continuing to, you know, expand and deepen the work, and so I think that the questions that we're asking about the play are really so exciting, and finding a new way to tell this story. I mean, this is my third time directing the play, and it feels like I've never directed it before, in a way, because we have so many exciting elements. It's like just the world-class cast, design team, and to be able to put together this project that so many people are going to get to see has just been tricky.
The first production in Chicago, I don't even know that I fully understood the play that I'd written. And I don't think I fully understood it until it was at Lincoln Center and we had a real long chance to sort of work on it, and I could keep watching it. And then I really started to understand what the play was. So I think the London production and this production are both going to, well, this production will have built on all that we've learned about it. You know, Kimberly is now directing it for the third time, and her understanding has deepened. So, and I think we've assembled the ideal sort of New York cast of this New York play. So, I'm excited.